When the brisk autumn wind rolls in and the nights fill with gloom, we gather to hear stories about the things that will make your blood run cold. Dim the lights, lock your doors, and do not look out your windows. You've now entered the darkness of horror. Welcome to October's Curse. There was a house tucked away at the edge of town where the trees grew so thick they seemed to swallow the sky. The neighbors spoke in whispers, if at all, about the woman who lived there, Eliza. She used to be a bright, vibrant mother, always smiling, always caring. But that was before everything changed. It started with the quiet ones, the boys who never said much, the ones who were always left out. Her son, Jamie, was one of those. He wasn't bad, he wasn't cruel, he wasn't even the sort of child you'd fear or pity. But for reasons Eliza never quite understood, something inside her snapped. It was as though a switch had been flipped, and she no longer saw Jamie as her boy, but as something else, something to be controlled. The days became long, the nights even longer. Jamie would cry out for her, but her ears grew deaf to his pleas. She would tie him to the chair in the dark room at the back of the house, the room no one was ever meant to see. She'd sit across from him, her hands trembling as she worked to make him understand, to make him obey. He never did. Every time he fought back, every time he tried to scream, her grip tightened, until one day, Jamie didn't fight at all. He didn't scream, he didn't move, he just disappeared. Eliza was left alone in the house, haunted by the empty space where he once stood. At first, she convinced herself that Jamie had run away, that he'd escaped her grasp and vanished into the night. But as days turned into weeks, then months, the loneliness began to crack her mind. She knew deep down. She knew, but she couldn't admit it. She was going mad, or so the townspeople said. They didn't know the truth. It wasn't until one night, in the dead of winter, that someone came to her, or at least she thought someone did. The room was cold. The air was thick with silence. The walls, once pristine, were now stained with the memories of things she couldn't forget. And there, sitting across from her in the dark, was him. She couldn't see his face, not fully, but she could feel his eyes heavy on her, as if he were watching her every move.
"He's gone, isn't he?"
she whispered into the shadows, her voice breaking. The figure said nothing, but Eliza felt its presence. The air shifted, thick with an energy she couldn't place. She could hear her heartbeat, loud in the stillness, but she had to speak, had to tell someone, anyone.
"Yes,"
she said, almost pleading.
"I did it. I couldn't stop myself. I tried to make him understand, but he never did, never obeyed, and now he's gone."
Still, the figure said nothing. Tears welled in Eliza's eyes, but she wiped them away, her hands shaking. She looked down at the empty space where Jamie had once been.
"He didn't deserve it. I know that now.
She paused, her words choking her.
I thought it would make him better, make him listen, but I lost him. I lost everything."
The figure leaned forward, or at least she thought it did. The weight of its gaze was unbearable.
"I know,"
she whispered.
"I know what I've done. He's gone, and it's all my fault."
And then, from the darkness, a voice emerged. Faint, distant. A voice that didn't sound human.
"He never left."
Eliza froze. She had heard that voice before, hadn't she? But when she turned to face it, there was no one there. The room was empty. Completely, utterly empty. Except for the chair that Jamie had once sat in. It was there, and something in Eliza's mind snapped.
"He never left. He never left."
The thought repeated over and over in her mind like an insistent drumbeat until the walls began to close in. She could see Jamie's face now, pale and wide-eyed, trapped within the confines of her memory. his silent screams echoing in her ears. The figure, if it was even real, was gone. The room was still and dark again, as though no one had ever been there to begin with. But Eliza knew the truth. She had never been alone. The thing she had tortured, the thing she had twisted into something unrecognizable, was still there. In the shadows, in the silence, in the house. She wasn't alone. Not anymore. And neither was Jamie.